Yes. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me this time? I've had to fiddle around with the Zoom H6 again. It's clearly not working as intended, but hopefully you can see and both hear me now. So I'm just going to switch over to the chat, see if it's working, because at the moment, yeah, everybody's telling me that there's no sound. But hopefully I have fixed that. So I've just got to wait 30 seconds. There we go. Right, Lewis Shaw. Thank you very much, Lewis, for joining us. Lewis is joining me from Braincrack Games. And apparently there is now sound. So for those of you that can't lip read, earlier on what I said was hello and welcome. My name is Paul Grogan. I am going to be doing a unboxing video, learning how to play the game from the rulebook video, and then I'm going to be playing through it live, solo. And I'm hoping it doesn't take 4 hours, because in 4 hours' time, other people are arriving for games night. But yes, thank you very much to everybody for joining me in the chat. Good that the sound's working okay. And let's crack on. So before we start, I just wanted to say this is not a commissioned video. Although Capstone Games have given me a copy of this game for potentially reviewing it. So I do want to give it some coverage. None of what you're seeing here is commissioned at all by either of the publishers. This video and many of the other videos that I create is purely funded through campaign. So thank you very much all of my patrons for basically making this possible. And if you like the content that I create, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Right, so let's crack on with, let's switch over to the multi-camera setup, which is this. And hopefully the chat will load. Right, now, since the last time we did one of these, I found a way that I can configure the chat window and make it a little bit bigger, which I think is here. So I can up the size of the font. How's that? Is that better, or do you want me to go? I'll go 22. Let me know if that's okay. I can always drop it back down again later on. But yeah, right. So let's crack on. We've got the multi-camera view. So here is Ragusa. Now, I say I've not even opened this box yet, but the shrink wrap was off. So it could be that I've actually lent this to friends already who've played it. I don't know, but let's find out. It's all a bit exciting. I mean, yeah, literally, I'm just going to put that to one side. Rulebook, which we'll be getting to in a minute. We have the board and okay. So we have games already in Ziploc bags. Now, Braincrack, you'll be able to tell me whether is it working?
The sound keeps, it's like it's trying to slow down and it keeps upping and going.
Is there a problem with the sound from anybody else? Because Vicky's watching this in the other room. Audio breaks all the time. I don't know what to suggest about that. It's recording. I have actually put a delay of 250 milliseconds on the audio because last time basically the sound and the video was out slightly.
I think it's that because it pauses and goes slow.
So I mean I can take off the audio delay and just see that as a test if it is a problem. That's the only thing that I've done since last time. So let's do that. Settings, audio. I'm going to turn off the audio delay. There we go. And Lewis is saying it's a bit crackly. I'm not sure why it's crackly, other than I might have it turned up a bit. I don't know. I've got this thing on top of my PC. Maybe I'll not put this on top of my PC. Maybe I'll put it on the floor. So yeah, let me know how that is. I've turned off the audio delay, which means the audio is going to be different from the video, slightly. So anyway, that's that. So yeah, so what I was saying, I've opened the box, things are in Ziploc bags. So let me know, Lewis, if this is how the game actually comes. I mean, yeah, it can't have been played because these things are still in shrink wrap. So maybe this is how it comes, with components already in Ziploc bags, already in these boxes. And I don't know what this is. It's a micro pack recyclable sticker. Okay, I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't look like this game has been played at all. So we have some components, we have some boxes. Let's take all of these out, even the rulebook hasn't told me to do that. I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm a rebel. And Vicky's saying the sound is still odd. You can hear tack, tack, tack every word I say. Right, that is unusual. I don't know why. Because everything is all plugged in correctly, and it shouldn't be doing that. So, yeah,
Yeah, now what I can do is I can actually switch over from using this microphone completely to using the Blue Yeti, which is in the ceiling. So bear with us a minute. Let's switch over to that and see if that makes any difference at all. Where's the Blue Yeti gone? Here it is. Right, so I need to plug this in here. Okay.
And then I'm going to turn off. Let's try that one. Right. Okay, is that any better? The audio settings on this seem to be a little unusual. I'm still getting used to the XSplit software, and because I'm using the free version, it doesn't have an audio source input. But I've spoken to people, and other people do exactly the same thing, and it seems to work fine for them. So, yeah, let me know if this is working okay or not. I really need to get this sorted before I start doing any commissioned ones. But yeah, microphone is set to the H6. Popping, not every word and not horrendous. Popping, I mean, all I can suggest on that is working now, is it? I really don't understand what's going on. All I've done...
It's only just come up with the change you just made.
Yeah, but I didn't make any change. I went into the menus and reselected the microphone. So I'm not actually using the Blue Yeti. I'm still using the H6. Right, I'm going to put the delay back on. Right, the delay is now back on. So in 30 seconds time, hopefully, that's going to kick in. Anyway, rulebook. So first did one of these. I've done a couple of these before. I've done Pipeline and I've done Imperial Settlers Roll and Write. And I really didn't think this was a good idea, but I wanted to try it anyway. This is literally, you're going to watch me learning how to play this game from the rulebook. Now that seems like a crazy idea, and somebody else suggested it. I think that was the craziest idea ever. However, some people have said that they actually like me doing this. So if you want to watch me learning a game from the rulebook, then this is actually what you're about to see. Now, I should have, where's my remote? Where have I put my remote controls? There's my remote controls. So I can actually adjust the overhead camera. There we go. And I've got my old man glasses because I'm going to need it. Now it's popping again. Right. Stop touching it. It's back the noise, but it's fine for me. Yeah, okay. So I will turn off that audio delay again. It's not good to know that that audio delay doesn't work properly because I thought that would be good. I thought that would fix the problems. I don't know how other content creators do it. Right, I'm going to turn off the audio delay. So there we go. In 30-second time, hopefully, it will be fine. Right, Ragusa, a maritime republic and Mediterranean port that sees thousands of ships pass through its walled harbour. Here in the midst of the 15th century, Ragusa is at its peak. It is the sole rival to Venice as a trading gateway between the Eastern and Western civilizations, a neutral zone where merchants from all corners of the globe come to show their wares. But Ragusa is nothing and was nothing without you, the builders. By strategically building lumber mills, vineyards, towers and warehouses around and within the city, you built and must continue to build the foundations of wealth and commerce that will be this city's legacy. In the game, players are building Ragusa in the 15th century. By strategically placing buildings, they gain access to resources and produce commodities to trade for other goods and victory points. They also gain points by building walls and towers to defend the city. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game. The winner is the player with the most victory points at the end of the game. Right, okay. Could be the link cable. Something like when you plug in speakers of a week. Right, okay. Voice is really slow and choppy. Right, apologies for this. So should I switch over to the other microphone then? Because it seems to be sometimes working and sometimes not, and I've no idea why. It didn't do this last time. I haven't really changed anything. I'm still using this. Yep, still using this exactly as I was before. So let's switch over to the other microphone and see if that's any better. Audio. Yeah, I'm not sure how I select the Blue Yeti microphone. The Blue Yeti is plugged in, but it's not appearing on my list. Yeah, I've got default microphone, digital audio interface, which is the microphone from the camera, which won't be very good. Microphone. Microphone. Here we go. Right, let's try that one.
It's better when you lean back. Interesting. I wonder if it is actually picking up an old battery. No, there's no battery in it. It's all powered by the Zoom H6 using phantom power. So yeah, there's no battery in this at all. I mean, it could be faulty. I don't know. You know, I can't rule out. These were brand new. I only bought them last week. But I have switched over. I am now using the Blue Yeti, which is in the ceiling. So you'll probably notice it sound a lot different. But hopefully that's working and with no issues. If there's still issues with that, then it's something wrong with the actual stream itself, rather than the microphones that I'm using. Right, better on the different mic. Right, we're going to crack on with that. So we've read the flavour introduction. So we know it's Ragusa, 15th century, trading, building buildings, and getting victory points. Right, okay. So components. You should find one of those, which is one of those, 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 which are these, whatever these are. It's odd that it doesn't tell me what they are. It's just telling me that there's one of them. So yeah, I would normally like to see a name of what these actually are, but there's 5 of them. We have 22 of those, which have got to be these. 18 of those, which are these. Again, don't know what these are. Coloured discs, don't know what they are, but we've got them. Then we've got these things, which look like these things which look like these, and then cards. Right, let's check the cards. So let's open these up. We have 26 ship cards, which I think are these ones. The Yeti is better. Right, brilliant. So all the money I've spent on my Zoom H6 and all of these expensive lapel mics, yeah, don't know what I'm going to do with them if they're not working properly. So these are ship cards, 26 of those. Bonus cards. Oh, these are the bonus cards. Yeah, so 16 bonus cards. Solo cards, I guess I'm going to need them. And then resource tracker cards, which is these. Come on. If anybody has any tips about how to get into these, if you don't have any nails. Oh. Come on. I will get into them. He says, I thought I was in then. Right, we're in. So we have 30 resource tracker cards. Okay, that's those. Right. Yeah, the problem with the Yeti is it's going to pick up all of the background noise, and I've got the window open, so yeah, there's people outside talking. That's the problem with the Yeti. Well, no, because if you close the window, it'll get too hot, and it's going to get warm. Right. Setup. Place the board in the centre. Okay, so let's do that first, and let's put it. I'm actually going to put it. There are 2 sides, one with simplified graphics for learning the game or playing in low light. Ah, okay, that's good. I'm trying to work out which is which. Let's have another look. Okay, I think I'm going to put it that side up. I think I can just about tell the difference, but I'm going to put it that way up, and I'm going to zoom out now. There we go. Right, so that's going to go there. Right, I might need to get that a bit closer to me. Give each player 1 player board and 3 tracker beads. I'm literally going to go through this as we're playing. So this is the thing in the components. It didn't call these tracker beads, and it's now telling me to give each player 3 tracker beads. So I'm going to make a leap of assumption here and assume that these are the tracker beads. But yeah, it should say that on the components list. It should tell me really what they're called. Give each player a player board. And again, it didn't tell me these were called the player boards, but I'm going to assume that that's the player board. I'm going to play purple because it's the best colour. I'm just going to switch over to the chat so I can see the chat a bit more clearly. There we go, I think. He said, give players the towers in their colour. So again, I'm going to make an assumption that these things that look like towers are towers. I don't know how many of those yet, because the setup here is for a 2 to 5 player game. And the solo game rules, I'm assuming, are somewhere in the back. 2-player rules and solo rules. So I'm actually going to read through the rules as if it was a 2-player game first, or a 3-player game, and then I'll go to the solo rules after that. In fact, no, I've just noticed there's a setup section. So I'm going to read through the normal setup, and then I'm going to go back and change it for the solo rules. Right. So I'm going to get a certain number of houses, I don't know how many. Place the disc of each player's colour on square 0 of the scoring track. So I'm assuming this is the scoring disc. Big assumption there, but that's going to go up there. Don't need those for the moment. Keep the resource tracker cards nearby, 6 for each player in their colour. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are mine. Place 1 tracker bead on the indicated starting space, the rightmost one of the 3 commodity value tracks at the top of the board. Oh, the board, which is here. Yeah, so so the rightmost one is there, and graphically there's a little thing on them. Right, so they are the commodity value tracks. So we have wine, oil and silver, and that's how much they're currently worth. Right, shuffle the ship cards. And again, I might have to do all of this again for the solo setup, but yeah, I can't see my own chat. My eyesight's gone. So I'm going to go to that chat there, which I can see. Other side of the board will be more visible for the stream. Will it? Right, okay. Thank you very much. Let's do that then. Let's switch over to the other side of the board. Right, there you go. How's that? Thank you very much for telling me that before we went on any further. Yeah, so shuffle the ship cards, which is these, and place 5 of them on the spaces indicated at the bottom of the board, ship side down. Okay, spaces indicated at the bottom of the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they've got different things on the back, but the ship's on the other side. So that's right, I think. For each card, move the corresponding commodity value marker to the right by 1 or 2 spaces according to the number of arrows. So if the card has a wine symbol and 2 arrows, move the wine marker right twice. Then flip the card to the ship side. Right, so this one is wine. So wine goes up by 1, we flip it over. Wine goes up by another 2, flip it over. Silver goes up by 2, flip it over. Oil goes up by 1, and then silver goes up by 1. Right, there we go. And again, we might have to do this again because I'm playing solo. Right. Shuffle the bonus deck. That's these ones. And give each player 3 cards face down. So in the style of writing that I choose, the word face down is only hyphenated when used as an adjective before the noun. So it's hyphenated in here, but I don't hyphenate it when it's used in that context. Just a little bit of rulebook editing stuff. Anyway, 3 bonus cards, which it says he's supposed to be face down, but since we're playing the solo game, I'm just going to put them face up. Each player must pick 1 and discard the other 2 cards face down. Oh, right. Well, I don't know what I do with the rest of the bonus cards yet. It's just give each player 3, pick 1 and discard the other 2 face down. Shuffle the discarded bonus cards back into the bonus deck and put it face down near the board. So I'm going to make that decision later, but right now at the start of the game, I have to choose. No, let's just choose straight away. I'm assuming this is 2 points for each wood, 2 points for each fish, and 1 point for each wall. I like fish, so I'm going to choose the fish. Shuffle the discarded bonus cards back into the bonus deck, randomly face down. Right. Another page of information. Right, okay, so now let's go to the solo setup and see what I've done wrong and that I have to do again. The Patrician uses 2 player boards. Right. You're playing head-to-head against the Patrician, a powerful aristocrat who rules with an iron fist. Recently married into a second powerful family, the Patrician now operates with twice the resources, land and manpower as you. To make matters worse, he has pulled strings around the city to reserve building sites and ensure he gets his way. Nasty. So the Patrician uses 2 player boards with 12 houses in different colours for each. You also have 12 houses, but when you begin the game, all colours will have placed 3 houses according to the diagram below, assuming the player is purple. That is a good assumption to make. So let's pick orange and light blue for the Patrician. So it says how many houses we get, but does it say how many towers we get? Now I think Lewis said all of them. Is that what you're saying, Lewis? I start with all of my towers? I don't know where it says that in here. But if that's what you're saying, then that's what I'll do. Give players the towers in their colour and the following number of houses. Right, okay, so you're all right. You get all of your towers, but houses is limited. Is based on the number of players in the game. So I start with 12 houses. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I got 13. Get rid of that one. And we need the orange and the light blue for the Patrician. Right, so I'm not sure where these are going to go, and I need to put them somewhere that you can see them on camera. But I'm going to put that one there and that one there. You can see that. I think I'm going to turn off my above camera has got lines all over it. Yeah, is that? Hopefully that's still going out okay. Let's just check. Because sometimes if you press the display button, it will show on camera, but it's not showing. Yeah, that's good. Right, so this is the Patrician here, and the Patrician starts with, I think it said, 12 houses in different colours for each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, 13. I don't know if that's an extra one that you get just in case you lose one, or if in some player counts you need 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, get rid of that one. But when you begin the game, all colours will have placed 3 houses according to the diagram below. Right, so I guess we need to place the houses on the board like this. So the houses go on these spaces here. Oh, I happen to have just selected the exact colours that it uses in the setup example, which is a complete fluke. Unless you had the same thoughts as I did and you went with colours that would stand out against each other, which is kind of what I was thinking. Is that right? Yep, I think that's right. Okay. Well, I can't keep knocking the board now. Each bot, blue and orange, starts with 3 woodcutters. Right, I don't know how we represent those resources yet because I haven't read that bit in the rulebook. Resources and commodities. The game has 6 kinds of resource. Fish, wood, stone, silver, ore, grapes and olives. Players must use tracker cards to denote how many of each they have access to. Interesting way of doing it. The last 3 of those are used to produce 3 types of commodity: silver, wine and olive oil. So silver ore is used to produce silver, grapes are used to produce wine, olives are used to produce olive oil. Right. Resources are gained but not spent. Think of them like supply lines, a measure of your access to that resource. Right, so if you have 3 grapes, you have 3 grapes. You don't actually spend it to get anything. That's fine. They influence how much of a commodity that you can create, but do not expire when that commodity is created. Right, okay, yep, that makes sense. You might want to read the general rules first, so that the difference for solo play will make more sense. Yep, I think I'm doing that now. Players track both resources and commodities on their boards. Commodities can be sold for victory points at a variable value. So these are the commodities. Each good is worth a fixed number of victory points, and trading them will influence the market value of commodities. So when producing commodities, you move the corresponding piece right by the amount produced. And when spending commodities, oh, that's on here. And when spending commodities, you move the appropriate piece to the left. You can store up to 12 of each. Right, okay. Yep, that makes sense. Yep, that all makes sense. Right, we're all good. Gameplay. Right, so players take turns going clockwise. On their turn, they place one of their houses in one of the available spaces on the map. Okay, so these are spaces. A space is available if there is not already an house on it. So slight typo there. A space is available if there's not already a house on it. Towers do not block a space. Right, we'll get to towers in a minute, but these do not block spaces. Each space is adjacent to 3 hexes. Yep. And each hex provides a benefit. In order to place a house on a space, its requirements need to be fulfilled. The icon in the centre of the space indicates what resource is available there. Yep. So it says, oh, see below. Right, rural. Each hex outside the city walls, and we haven't got to them yet, I don't think. Have we had a definition of city walls yet? No. But each hex outside the city walls provides one resource, e.g. fish, wood, stone, etc. I mean, it's got to be this. This has to be the city wall, I'm assuming. It's fairly obvious, but it doesn't say that anywhere yet. When placing a house next to one of these, place a tracker card next to your player board, or rotate and flip it if there's already a card there to indicate how many of each resource you now have access to. Each card has 1 to 4 on one edge, and then 5 to 8 on the other side. Right. Oh, so what you do is, I see, right, this is what this is. Yeah, I'm going to move that there a bit. So I've got my player board. So if I've got access to 4 grapes, I would put that there like so. Right. So I'm going to make an assumption here, but I have access from this house to 2 wood and a stone. And I'll hopefully get to this bit in a minute, but I think I've got 2 wood and a stone from this one. This one gives me a stone, whatever that is, silver ore and grapes. So grapes, stone and silver ore. And then this one gives me access to silver ore, stone and olives. So olives, silver ore and stone. So the card that I chose to start the game with, my bonus card of 2 points for each fish, brilliant. I'm not actually producing any fish. Again, it's not told me to do that yet, but I think that's what I do. When you place a house next to a resource, place a tracker card next to the appropriate resource on your board. Remember that resources are never spent. Yep, it's good to remind you of that because that's quite important. But can be traded for other resources. Right, okay. Hexes within the city walls have specific actions. Okay? When the hex has a clockwise arrow symbol beneath the title, yep, can just about say that. The player will complete the action before allowing the respective owner of each other house around the hex going clockwise to activate the action. Right, okay. For example, by placing a house in the circled space, blue would be able to use the architect, rector's palace and winery. The architect lets blue build a tower once they've done so. Orange will be able to build 2 towers, 1 for each of their houses around the architect. Right, this is a bit too much front loading of information right now. I know it's important stuff, but right now I kind of don't need to know this. This will be relevant later on. When you build between the rural and the city regions, Okay, which is here. Yeah. Activate each of them according to their own rules. On cross-shaped spaces, towers can be built, but these do not block the house space beneath. Right, okay, so towers can only be built on here. Few people have popped in the chat. Hello. Lewis, in components or gameplay? Yeah, I'll talk more later on, but my general view on components is literally a list of the components, except what you've missed here is you've got the names. It needs to have the names of these. Nothing else, no rules. Same with setup. Don't put any rules in the setup. It's just a bit confusing. Keep the setup very simple. Put this here, put that there. But yeah, this section here about activating buildings should be in the section where you activate the buildings, I think, rather than beforehand. Anyway, building requirements. So let's go back a bit. On their turn, on a player's turn, they place one of their houses in one of the available spaces, which is a space that doesn't already have a house on it. Right, so that's what you do. Building requirements. It will border 3 hexes. You must check that you have the building requirements for each hex, not for the space itself. If you do not meet the requirements of all 3, you may not build there. Right, okay. You will need wood to build next to rural hexes and stone for city hexes. Now, again, we haven't had... So the rural hexes are the ones outside the city walls, which are these, but it kind of didn't say that. And these are the city ones. And it's saying the requirement to build next to a rural hex is wood and stone for city hexes. The building requirement is simple. The amount of houses you have around a single hex may not exceed the amount of relevant resources that you have available to you. For example, yeah, we need an example. Your first house around a rural hex will require 1 wood. If you already have 2 houses around a rural hex, you will need 3 wood to place your third house there. Okay? That seems clear. So there is a better example. If blue is building on the circled space, it's their first house around the mason, so they only need 1 stone. It's their second house around the vineyard, so they need at least 2 wood. But it's their third house around that, so they need 3 wood. So you need 1 stone and 3 wood. Right. And remember, resources are not consumed and can be reused across hexes. Yeah, so in that example, you only needed 3 wood, even though you needed 3 wood for this hex and 2 wood for this hex. It's just the higher of the 2. Right. You start with no resources, but the resources gained by placing a house can be used to pay for that house. Oh, right, okay. So you kind of place the house first, get the resources, and then check to see if you can place it. I think that's right. Right, okay. What's the question? Right, nothing, I don't think, so far. So your first house must always be placed adjacent to a hex that provides wood. Yeah, because your first house next to it provides wood. Can you not place a city? Oh no, city ones cost stone, and there isn't a city one that's next to stone. Right, okay. Important, requirements of all 3 hexes must be met in order to build, but the same resources can be reused for 2 or more hexes, and the resources provided by 1 hex can be used to fulfill these needs too. Notice that C hexes do not require extra resources. Oh, okay, right, so, yeah, building next to a C doesn't require resources. Right, okay, I think I've got it, but there are 2 examples that I want to just read to make sure I do understand it. So green, to place a house on the highlighted space, would require, I think, 1 stone for that, 1 stone for that, and 1 wood for that. Is that right? It's got no houses on any adjacent hex, making this their first house on all of them, so they need 1 wood and 1 stone. Yeah, orange. Let's see if I can work it out. Orange needs 2 stone for that, 1 stone for that, and 1 wood for that. So they need 2 stone and 1 wood. No, sorry, 2 wood. Yes, there's an orange house there. I forgot. 2 wood and 2 stone. Blue needs 3 wood and 2 stone. Yeah, and purple needs 1 wood and 3 stone. Yes, right. We have another example. To place a house in the highlighted space, all players would require 1 or more olives. It's a special requirement of the oil press. Oh, okay. The green player has 1 houses, slight typo there, on the oil press. So needs at least 2 stone. That same house is adjacent to the sea hex. No resource there. And he also needs 1 wood for this. Is that right? To place a house in the highlighted space, all players would require 1 or more olives, which is a special requirement for the olive press. But doesn't he also need 1 wood? In this example, doesn't green need a wood? It doesn't mention it. Same house. Orange. Yeah, orange needs 2 wood for that and 1 stone. Blue needs 3 wood, 2 stone. Right. So page 11, if you are listening, the bit where it says that the green player, that should also include the cost of 1 wood. And I don't get this bit where it says to place a house in the highlighted space, all players would require 1 or more olives. I mean, it says that's a special requirement of the oil press, but then it doesn't mention it in there. Right, we'll come back to that later on. Yes, you need wood. Thank you for clarifying that. City buildings. Below is a list of buildings within the city limits, their requirements and effects. This probably should have been an appendix at the back of the rulebook, because I'd like to know basically the flow of the game first before diving into the details of what all of the different things do. Although there doesn't appear to be much else other than end of game. Wow, right, okay. So let's go through the city buildings. Below is a list of buildings within the city limits, their requirements and effects. So the winery, which is here, it says, requires 1 or more grapes. So that's a requirement to build, similar to the oil press from the previous example. The owner of the house moves the wine marker on their player board, this one, equal to the amount of grapes they have access to. If a player has access to 3 grapes and 2 houses on the winery, they would gain 6 wine in total. Okay, if houses have already been built adjacent to the winery, activate them in clockwise order. I might come back to these later, but the winery requires grapes and basically produces wine. The oil press requires olives and produces olive oil. The silversmith requires silver ore and produces silver. The mason placed 1 wall, which again, I'm assuming are these, but it didn't tell me these were walls in the components list. But it's kind of obvious they are. Place 1 wall between 2 house spaces along the city limits. Again, no definition of what the city limits are, but it's got to be this area around here. And I guess the walls go on these spaces here because they're placed between 2 house spaces, regardless of whether there are houses there. And you immediately get victory points for the wall, plus victory points for each house tower of your colour already adjacent to the wall. Right, come on to that in a minute. Architect is this one. Place 1 tower in your colour on one of the available tower spaces along the city limits, regardless of whether or not there is a tower there. I think that should be house. Is that a typo on page 13? If you can let me know, I think that should be. Place it on one of the available tower spaces, regardless of whether or not there is a house. It says tower there, but then you'd have 2 towers on the same space, which doesn't seem right. Towers contribute to scoring for city walls both during the game and at the end. Okay, fishmonger down here requires 2 fish, and then each house on the fishmonger scores 1 point per 2 fish. Important to place a house on the fishmonger, the 2 fish must be available after trading to meet the build requirements if you do so. Not sure what that means just yet, but we'll come back to it. Yes, it's a typo. Thank you, Lewis. Market. Market is here. Requires 1 or more commodity. Now this is the commodity value market, so commodities are here. So in order to place a house around the market, you need to have 1 commodity. And then the owner of each house may purchase 1 of the available ship cards. Aha, these. Each slot has a base cost of 2 wine, 2 oil, 1 silver, 1 wine or 1 oil. Okay, yeah. Oh, I see. Right, so the costs here are listed left to right, but they're listed here right to left, which is a bit odd. Some ships have an additional cost. For example, pearls and gems cost an additional silver. That must be that. Yep. When purchasing ships, the active player must have the required commodities and will spend them by moving the marker left. Under the ship card is a commodity with a downwards arrow. When the ship is purchased, the corresponding marker on the market track moves down. The commodity on the card does not affect the market price. Okay? After a ship is purchased, the remaining ships to the right will slide left, and a new card will be placed on the rightmost slot. Before it's placed, look at the symbol on the back of the new ship. Increase the market value like you did in setup, and some cards will be purchased will score victory points immediately equal to the number of stars depicted on them, which is this here. Okay. Cost, effect. Yeah. Okay, that's clear. Right. The wharf is here. When a house is placed next to the wharf, each player may sell 1 unit of either wine, oil, or silver per house they have on this space. So again, this has a requirement of a commodity. The commodities sold must be available on the corresponding player board, and if they are sold, the relevant marker must be reduced accordingly. Each commodity sold scores points equal to the current market price of the relevant commodity. See below. Yeah, so that's basically where these are. So I get the idea that these, you're supposed to be able to see the number that's underneath, but they don't work unless you're looking right down at it. So, yeah. I don't know if you can see on camera the number that's underneath the beads. Might have been better just with a flat disc like in Clans of Caledonia rather than a rounded one. Anyway, Rector's Palace. Here, no special requirements. When placing a house next to the Rector's Palace, you may draw the top 2 bonus cards, choose one to keep, return the other to the bottom of the deck. Gives you points at the end of the game. It's fine. Cathedral, no special requirements. Houses next to the cathedral score points at the end of the game. Each house allowing the player to score 1 set of silver, 1 wine and 1 oil at end game market price. Existing houses adjacent to the cathedral are not reactivated. So the Rector's Palace in the cathedral, when you place there, other people don't get it. Fish exchange. At any time during the game, this is printed here, players may exchange 2 or more fish for another type of resource according to the following table. So 2 fish for a wood grape or olive, 3 fish for a stone, 4 fish for a silver ore. Important, this may happen at any time, including right after gaining the fish and before activating a tile. For example, the same fish gained by placing a house on the winery may be exchanged for a grape in order to produce more wine. Okay. Interesting. I have to try and remember that. The exchange can also happen on another player's turn, e.g. when a player places a house on the oil press, other players that already have a house there can trade fish for olives and then activate their house. Right, end of the game. Game ends when all players have placed all of their houses. And you have 12 houses, so that's basically 12 turns. Okay? At the end of the game, city walls. Look at each player's longest uninterrupted stretch of wall, brackets, where each house space between 2 wall pieces is empty, or has a house or tower of your colour. Each player scores 1 point for each wall piece, tower and house in their longest stretch. So uninterrupted stretch of wall. Each house space between 2 wall pieces is empty, or has a house or tower of your colour. Okay? So there's an example there. I'll come to that later. Cathedral. Each house on the cathedral will score victory points for 1 set of silver, oil and wine. You've got to have 1 of each at the market value. So for example, if the market value of silver, oil and wine are 4, 3 and 2, you've got 2 houses there, you get 2 times 9. Yep. Bonus cards. I think that's fairly clear. The maximum you score is 12. Yep, it's printed on the card. Each of these gives the player the indicated amount of points for the relevant resource they have on their player board at the end of the game. You may swap fish for other resources at this stage, but not after you have scored the fish bonus card. Yep, that makes sense. The winner is the one with the most points. And then the ship cards, which I think I'm okay with. I don't think I need all of that explanation. They seemed fairly clear. So, solo rules. Have I missed anything? Circle space adjacent to rural space, green space. Right, okay. Setup. So we've done the setup. Each bot starts with 3 woodcutters, 3 stone quarries, 1 silver mine. Okay, so I think that's this. So according to this, see if I've done this right, these don't fit in quite. No, these are a little bit big. They don't quite fit in. The player has 2 woodcutters, is that correct? Yes. 3 stone quarries, yes. 1 silver mine. No, I've got 2. I have those 2. Have I set this up correctly? Yep, I've set it up correctly. Why do I only have 1 silver mine according to... Oh, no, sorry. 2 silver mines, 1 vineyard, and 1 olive grove. Right. The other players, let's see if I can get this right. So we're going to need... Yeah, we're going to need these cards. I'm going to turn these like this. Can you still see them? Yes, you can. Right, okay. So, orange starts with... This one is producing a wood, a stone, and an olive. In fact, no, let's just work them out. So, a wood for this one, a wood for this one, and a wood for that one. So, 3 wood. Stone. This one's getting a stone, that one's getting a stone, that one's getting a stone. So I think that's 3 stone as well. What's this? Olives. 1 olive. Yeah, just 1 olive. Silver ore, 1. And any fish? Nope, no fish. Grapes. 1 grape. Okay, so you're not producing any fish either. So is that right? 3 woodcutters, 3 stone quarries, 1 silver mine, 1 vineyard, and 1 olive grove. Yep. Okay. So let's do the same up here. So what have we got? No fish. 1 grape, 1 olive, 1 silver mine, 2 stone, and no, sorry, 3 stone, 3 stone, and 3 wood. Right, okay, setup done. Shuffle the patrician deck, which is this. Just reading the chat. Right, so choose 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Return the rest of the box. Each card in the deck highlights 3 numbered locations in the city. Yes, it does. Should I have looked at the other side? Ah, that's the side. So yeah, I should have shuffled them that way up. For each card, mark the matching locations on the board with a black house. These locations are reserved for the patrician and are unavailable to the player. It's not very nice, is it? Okay. So does that mean I've got 18 of these? It says for each card, and I've drawn 6 cards. Oh yeah, there's quite a lot of these. Right, so we're looking at locations in the city. So this is reserved. This is reserved. That's reserved. It's in the wrong place. Is that right? No, that's not right. Yep, that's right. So that's that one done. Next one. There, and there. Yep. Next one. I wonder if they're all totally unique. Guess they are, because we've not had any duplicates so far. So I can't build there. 2 more to go. That one, that one, and that one. And then finally, that one. Wow, really not going to be many places for me to build, is there? There's hardly anything left. Right, so I guess we don't need those cards anymore. Oh no, we do. After placing the houses, shuffle the 6 cards and split them into 2 sets of 3, assigning 1 to each bot face down. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that's yours, Mr. Orange Patrician, and that's yours, Mr. Blue. Shuffle the bonus deck left and deal 1 to you face up and 1 to each bot. Okay, so instead of doing that, I assume it probably should say instead of the normal thing, we do that. So yeah, page 21, the bit about the bonus cards, it needs to say instead of giving out bonus cards in the normal way, do it this way. Otherwise that could be read as in addition to the normal way. So I'm not getting 2 points for each fish, I am getting 2 points for each olive. The Orange Patrician is getting 1 point for each ship card that looks like it's worth 2. And the blue one is getting 4 points for each silver ore. Finally, shuffle the ship cards and deal 1 on each space at the bottom of the board, adjusting the commodity prices accordingly as in the full game. Right, okay. So that is as normal. Right, so the solo mode gameplay. Just checking the chat. Quality of the cards, figures, and the boards. Fine. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, the boards are quite thick. The only problem I'm having with the boards at the moment, you can just about see, is the cards are a bit too big to actually fit in the gaps. It'd be nice if they were just a little smaller, just so they fit in a bit better, or they were more rounded. I might have to trim them a little bit, but it's a fairly minor thing. Other than that, yeah, cards are a decent thickness. The board is pretty solid. There's no actual wooden, so there's no cardboard pieces in the game, apart from the player boards and the main board. But other than that, yeah, and the wooden pieces are all really nice. There doesn't appear to be any miscut printings or anything like that on them. So yeah, good quality so far. There we go. Right. Solo mode. The game proceeds for 9 turns. Each turn, the 2 bots will place first, and then the human player will place last. For each bot, the turn proceeds as follows. Shuffle the 3 patrician cards and pick 1. Place 1 of the bot's available houses on a space marked on the card with the lowest available typo number. If a black house is there, replace it. These are only there to reserve spaces. Yeah, if all 3 spaces are occupied, discard that card and draw a new one, and then activate the space. For houses on the rural hexes, remember to update the resource markers on the bot's player board. During play, you don't need to check whether or not a bot has enough resources to build on a space. The houses placed during setup will ensure that each move made by the bot is legal. Okay, yeah, because they've got 3 stone and 3 wood. So, yeah, that's fine. When placing on the winery, silversmith, oil press, fishmonger and cathedral, the actions work as usual, but for the other spaces, bots use the action in the way that benefits them the most, as printed on here. Now, thank you very much to the designer, because apparently there's an error in this book, and he pointed that out to me. And he said, there's a typo, and it's about the bots placing towers. So whenever we get to the bots placing towers, which is the architect, I need to read. There's a bit on it on BGG. After both bots have placed, you may place 1 house on an empty space not reserved for the bots and activate the areas in the same way, i.e. following the above rules when activating a bot's house but making the decisions for your own. End of game. After you've placed your last house, the game ends. Okay. But I thought I started with 12. Oh yeah, I start with 12 houses, but 3 of them are on the board. Right, so 9 turns. Score the longest wall in the cathedral as with the regular game, then reveal and resolve all the bonus cards. Oh, so they should have been secret. Never mind. I don't know that. If a bot doesn't have the fish one, but it has any other resource cards, it will convert fish into the scoring resources. Yep, in the most beneficial way. And you can tune the game difficulty. Right, I think we are done. I think we are ready to start. So I'm just going to check the chat. The board is A2. So yeah, it's A2 in size. So yeah, a lot bigger. Right, I'm just going to get a drink of water, and then I think we're ready to go. Right, off we go then. The bots go first. We're going to do the blue bot first. So I think it said, shuffle the cards and pick one. Place one of the bot's available houses on a space marked on the card with the lowest available number. Okay, so it's that one there, which is that one. So we replace that with that. Activate the space. What do I do with this card? Shuffle the three. I guess we shuffle it back in and we go again next time. So we activate that space. So let's just go back to the core mechanics of the game, and it's about activating spaces. So when you place a house, it will border 3 hexes. That's the building requirements, which we don't need to check for the bots. But then basically you do that. So because it's placed there, it produces 1 olive. So the blue player is now producing 2 olives because of that. And then it activates this space and it produces a fish. And then it activates this space, which is the winery. And there was the special solar rules about the winery. No, there wasn't. Winery, silversmith, oil press, fishmonger and cathedral work as normal. So winery requires a grape, but we don't need to check that. The owner of the house moves the wine marker on their player board. I guess these. I don't remember where it got told that we're supposed to put these on there, but I might have missed that in the rules, or it might be missing. I'll have a look later on. I'm not going to bother checking now because it's fairly obvious that you do that. So it moves the wine marker to there, equal to the amount of grapes they have access to. Oh, 2. Yeah, because it's got 2 wine. So this building here is basically turning those 2 grapes into 2 wine. Right. And if houses had already been built adjacent to the winery, activate them in clockwise order. Right, okay, I think that's it. Have I done turn 1 correctly? The orange bot. Okay, we have, so the lowest numbered house is this one. So I'm going to get rid of that and replace it with orange house. That goes there. And again, we activate all of those spaces around it. So we activate this one, which is a grape. I think I did that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did that wrong. It's only 1. I'm getting grapes and olives mixed up. These 2 icons are a little similar, and my eyesight's going. So, sorry, yes. I've corrected that. You're probably going to tell me in the chat that I got it wrong, but I have corrected it now. Meanwhile, back here, orange is built here, so orange gets a grape. So orange is now producing 2 grapes. We'll activate, I mean, which order do I activate them in? Does it matter? Each space is adjacent and each hex provides a benefit. Yeah, have I missed it? Which order you activate them in? I don't know if it matters. Or I don't know if it's the player who places it who can choose. Anyway, let's do the silversmith. So the silversmith basically converts silver ore, which it's producing 1 of, into 1 silver. What was the thing about the green arrow? I remember reading about the green arrow. Where did I read about the green arrow? I remember reading about it somewhere. Oh, that's all of the other people get to do something. Yes, I can't remember where it is in the rules, but that's the bit that says you then do everybody else around there. So we've done the silversmith. The mason. Right, so this is the bits, which is the special rules. Mason. The bot will place a wall on a space that scores them the most points, i.e. a space that touches the most houses and towers of its colour. So it's either going to put a wall there or there. If multiple spaces score the highest, it will pick the one that contributes to its longest wall. If the tie persists, pick the first in clockwise order from the top corner of the silversmith. Top corner of the silversmith, there. I guess that's the top corner. Yeah. So there, that's the first one clockwise from there. So I think that's correct. There we go. Right. Clockwise from anywhere you place. Oh, hello, Paul. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, it says here, first clockwise in order from top corner of the silversmith. So I'm ruling it that it's from that space there. At which point that would be the first one clockwise. Right, now it's my go. So I basically put this somewhere on the board and take stuff. Wow. Right, I've no idea. I mean, I now know the rules of the game, but as for what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do well, I've no idea. Let's check my card. Each olive that I'm producing at the end of the game is worth 2 points, and I'm producing 1 olive. In order for me to produce more olives, they are over there, here, and here. And I can't go on these spaces. Oh, that's terrible. So I might go here. Again, I've no idea what I'm doing here, so don't get any strategy advice from me. I'm going to go here. That is basically going to cost me 1 wood for here, 1 wood for here, and 1 stone for here. I am producing 2 wood and 3 stone, so that's absolutely fine that I can go there. And what does that do? That increases my grape production by 1, my olive production by 1, and my wood production by 1. So wood, grapes, and olives. At least with these black buildings, I know where they're going to build, which means I can build on the other ones. It's not like, you know, a random card comes up and then it builds on a random space, which is quite good. I quite like that. Ships. How do you deliver to the ships? That's the market, isn't it? And the ships require 2 wine, 2 oil, silver, a wine. I haven't got any of them. Yeah, this is why you need to build these processing things. Can your colonists press your olives to get some oil? Well, they could if I'd have gone here, but I didn't. I decided to build up my resource production, rightly or wrongly. Remember to score 2 points for the orange spot. What have I missed? Oh, is that building? Oh, so I need the score markers for the other players. Yeah, I forgot that there's going to be another player. Where's the score markers? I put them somewhere. Here we are. So the mason building the wall normally gets points. I guess is what I missed. Mason, yes, immediately gain 1 victory point for the wall, plus 1 victory point for each house stroke tower of your colour adjacent to the wall. Thank you very much. So orange should have got 2 points for building that wall there. Anything else I've missed? No, don't think so. Right. Okay, so what's next? Next is end of the round. I don't think anything happens at the end of the round. I think we just carry on. So back to the blue player. Where is the patrician going to build now? It's going to build there. So we get rid of that, put that on, and then we're going to activate. So 1 grape, 1 olive, so a grape and an olive. That's those 2, and then the architect. Right, so the architect. So blue is going to place a tower. Architect, the bot will... so this is where I need these extra rules. So according to the errata stroke FAQ, the bot will place a tower that contributes to its longest wall according to this criteria. If possible, when possible, the bot will place the tower on a space that is not empty, i.e. a space that either already has a house in a different colour or that has a marker for a future house. Okay, so the normal rules for the architect are Place a tower in your colour on one of the available tower spaces along the city limits, regardless of whether or not there is a house there, is what that should say. Spaces with a tower are still available for houses and vice versa. Towers contribute to scoring the city walls both during the game and at the end. If other houses have already been built, right, yeah. Okay, so that space is going to activate, but there's nobody else there. So it's going to build one that contributes to its longest wall. So I need to read again the definition of the longest wall, because I didn't get that bit. Look at each player's longest uninterrupted stretch of wall, brackets, i.e. where each house space between two wall pieces is empty. Uninterrupted stretch of wall. Right, I need to read the example because I don't get that. A stretch ends if a space has a piece of another player's colour but not your own. Empty spaces can count towards the stretch as long as they are appended by a wall. And each stretch must start and end with a wall piece. So in this example, I'm going to try and put this on camera without messing the board up. In the picture above, the longest uninterrupted stretch of walls for purple is 10 wall pieces across 4 purple houses and 3 purple towers, for a total of 17 points. Not quite get it. Empty spaces can count towards the stretch. So why? Oh, I see. Purple. It goes all the way around there. Oh, so it does extend through empty spaces. Empty spaces count as long as it's not got a piece of another colour. So, and then it scores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry if you can hear some beeping, I don't know what's happening outside. So according to Paul, I think it'll build over the orange building. It'll build over here, will it? I don't know. This is it, I'm not sure. Oh right, because these empty spaces will count. Longest uninterrupted stretch of wall. Each house space between 2 wall pieces is empty. Right, or has a house. Oh, okay, it makes sense now. So, if this had wall pieces, this would all be blue. And by putting that there, that has now extended to here. But of course, if somebody else comes along here and puts a house, that would interrupt it unless blue then put a tower. I think that's right. So, yeah, thank you very much. And I don't think that scores any points during the game. Putting the house, putting the wall on does. That's the tricky bit of the rules, and it's not great, obviously, that they're slightly wrong in here. But yeah, thank you again to the designer for letting me know that there's a change to that. Right, we are on Orange's turn, and we are going to pick this card, and we are going to build here. I think we're going to build here. Yeah, we're going to build there. Right, boom. So that goes there. Right, now this is going to be interesting because Orange increases its grapes and its olives by 1. So grapes and olives, and it activates the mason, so it builds another wall. Again, I'm just going to check this. It will place a wall that scores them the most points. So right now, placing there would get 2 points, and there would get 2 points, and there would get 2 points. So I think it goes here, because that is clockwise from the corner of the silversmith. So that's another 2 points. I think that's what it does. Again, tell me if it's wrong, but I think that's what it does. And then we have our first reactivated space. So this is something that hasn't happened yet. If other houses have already been built adjacent to the mason, activate them in clockwise order following the newest house. Ah, right, so that's what's done. So following this one, that one is activated and Orange builds again. I think that's right. City hexes. Is that this? Oh, that's this bit that I didn't understand at the start. Yeah, so this bit here needs to be in, yeah, the next bit, basically. Building requirements, I think, should have come first. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So that now activates, and orange builds this wall, which I think goes there, and again scores them 2 points. Again, let me know if this is right or wrong. But I think that's right. It's 1 point for the wall, plus, I keep flipping backwards and forwards in here, plus 1 point for each house tower of your colour directly adjacent to the wall. Yeah. So, right. My go. What am I going to do? Well, I need to be doing stuff with these because I'm not getting any points at the moment, and points are good. So I need a way of, you know, pressing these olives into oil, or pressing the grapes into there. Now I have 3 stone. Well, so yeah, I've got 3 stone and 3 wood, so I can basically build anywhere I want. How do you sell goods at the market? I think there might be some wrong icons on the board here. I think I might be wrong, but okay, right. So the market allows you to buy the ship cards, and the wharf, which I would assume is to do with ships, is are they the right way around? Because the wharf to me sounds like it should be to do with ships, and the market should be to do with buying and selling of goods. I don't know if they are the wrong way round or not. That just seems a little unusual. Yeah, because the wharf in this game is just selling units. It's nothing to do with ships. I think they're the wrong way round. Anyway, I can't visit the market. In fact, I can't visit the market, or I can't visit the wharf, because the requirement is you've got to have a commodity. Yeah, and I kind of want to get my olives up for this. How do you get... Oh, 6, yeah. Maximum of 12. And I'm currently producing 2. It's not a lot, really, is it? I mean, I could just get some more olives. There's nowhere where I can get 2. But I could go on here. But I don't want to go where somebody else is, because then they're going to trigger. I want to go where they're going to build so that I can trigger it again. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to go here. Right, now that cost me 1 stone, which I've got. And then I basically activate all 3 of those areas. Wharf is selling commodities for points, market is buying ships. Yeah, it just seems odd. A wharf is to do with ships. Or Star Trek Next Generation, whichever. Today is a good day to ship goods, so he says. Right, oil press. So I'm going to do the oil press first. So for each house I have around the oil press, I can convert olives into oil. There you go. So I've now got 2 oil. So now what I can do is I can now do the market, which is... and then everything else around the oil press activates, but there's nobody else there. When a house is placed on the market, is it the market? Yeah, it's the market. The owner of each house may purchase one of the available ship cards. I have 2 oil, so I could buy this one or that one. That only costs 1 and is worth 3 points. This costs 2 and he's worth 2 points. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, they were laid out randomly. So why wouldn't I buy that one? I'll buy that one. Yeah, okay. So it cost 1 wine, and you actually do pay that. And then there is an effect on there of the price of oil drops by 1, and now I've got that card, which I score immediately, which is 3 points. Is that right? Right, okay, Fabio's explained the difference between the wharf and the market, so thank you. The wharf, you are sending your commodities overseas, and with the market, you are buying goods that have arrived from the ships. So, makes sense. I just don't know if harbour would have been better instead of market, so that it's tied in a bit more. Anyway, these slide down. That goes on, and the price of oil goes up by 1, and then that flips over. Just another little thing, this is for anybody who's watched my City of the Big Shoulders review. This is showing that the price of oil goes up, but on this board, up is to the right. So I think maybe that should have been a right arrow so that it corresponds intuitively with that. Yeah, just one of those little things that was a bit confusing in another game that I've reviewed recently. Right, so that's that done. So that was that, and the cathedral is basically end of game. So at the end of the game, I need one of each of these, and then that will get me points. Right, okay, back to the blue player for round 3. So I don't know how long this would take if I wasn't learning the rules. This is probably a 30-minute game, 45-minute game, I think, solo. Right, what have we got? It's building there. It can't build there, so it builds on the number 2 space, which is here. Pop. There we go. Right, so that's gone on there. We're going to activate them in order. Well, the cathedral doesn't do anything. The silversmith right, so the silversmith, for every silver ore I'm producing, which is 1, or for every silver ore I've got, I get 1 silver, and then orange does the same, so that goes up to 2. I think that's right. If houses have already been built adjacent to the winery, activate them in clockwise order. Right, so even though it's the same house and the silver ore hasn't gone up, it's run the production again, and it's now got 2 silver. I think that's right. Right, okay. So that's the silversmith done. Cathedral is end of game. Mason. So blue gets to place 1 wall, and then orange gets to place 2. Wow. So blue, where's blue going to place its wall? Yeah, door's going to close. So blue is going to place the wall so that it gets the most points. Well, all the spaces are just 1 point. So clockwise from here is there. Okay, so that gets blue 2 points. And then orange comes along. And orange, I think, places... now this is interesting. It places it there, because that gets it 2 points. The next one is only going to get it 1 point for the wall itself, because there is no other place on the board that it can place. So I guess it goes there and gets 1 point. I think that's right. I keep checking the chat to make sure I'm playing correctly. But I think that's right. Now it's orange's go. And we have that space, which we can't have because it's already got something on it. So then we have that one. Yep, that's the one. So that goes on there. And then we activate. Let's activate the winery first. I just want to check that I'm doing it in the right order, because I vaguely remember reading something now. The order doesn't matter. For other, but use the action that benefits them the most. Okay, yeah, we've not got to the wharf or the market yet. So, where were we? We've placed something there. So it's grapes into wine for both orange and blue. So orange, is it grapes into wine? Yeah, grapes into wine. Orange is producing 3 grapes, so 3 wine. Blue is producing 2 grapes, 2 wine. That's that done. Architect, orange gets to place and then blue. So orange gets to place a tower. Right, where's it going to place the tower? So the longest wall section right now is here, that isn't interrupted at all by anybody. Yeah, this wall scoring is really logical and it's probably very clever, but I'm having difficulty working out where it would place. Because these black buildings here, it will place the tower on a space that is not empty, i.e. a space that either already has a house in a different colour or that has a marker for a future house. So I think it's going to place there. I think that's what it's going to do, because then that definitely extends its wall should another player come in here. Right, okay, so Fabio said I placed the walls correctly. Let me know if I've placed that correctly as well. I think that's right. Who are we doing? We're doing orange, aren't we? Yes, we're doing orange. Are we doing orange? Yes. I lose track of where we're up to. I think that was orange's architect. So now blue's architect. Now, where's blue going to build? Because this is now interrupted. So blue can't go past here now. So blue would go here, I think. Yeah, I think that's where blue would go. Right, so tower is correct. Excellent. I'm starting to get the tower rules. Right, my go. And placing that doesn't get any points. That's that done. Oh, and orange goes onto the Rector's Palace as well. Right, what does the Rector's Palace do? Unlike the player, the bot will take 2 cards face down and score both of them at the end of the game. What a cheating McCheaterson. 2 cards. Gah. I don't know. Need to have a word with this patrician. So 2 cards for orange. 1, 2. There you go there. Right, my go. Where am I going to go? Answers via carrier pigeon. Gosh. See, some of these are, wow, 5 points. Right, these ships are definitely of different values. But I need wine for that. I'm not actually producing much wine. I could go on the cathedral again, but that would trigger the mason and there'd be loads of walls. Then again, there's only 1 space left for the mason. I might just have to give up on that and not bother with it. Silver ore. I am producing 2 silver ore. And I might want, you know, if I go here, that's that, which I don't really want to do. I need to look at where the black buildings are, because they are going to get activated by the other players. So I kind of want to go on there so that I get it again. And also I could build here to block the walls to stop them scoring. Yeah, because if... Oh no, it doesn't block it because they can build a tower over it. Okay, right. So the towers work a little bit like the stations, I think, in Ticket to Ride Europe. That once there's a house on there, it doesn't block it. Somebody else can go on there. I think that's it. So what does the wharf do? Let's remind myself of what the wharf does. I think it's basically sell commodities for points. Wharf. When a house is placed next to the wharf, each player may sell 1 unit sold on the corresponding player board. If they're sold, the relevant marker must be reduced accordingly. Each commodity sold scores victory points equal to the market price of the relevant commodity. So I could sell my oil for 2. Doesn't seem like the right thing to do. You sell 1 unit. Oh, you can only sell 1 unit. So I'm not being inefficient by only selling 1 unit. Does the price drop? Don't think it does. What was the thing about production and changing the price on here? I think I might have forgotten to... I remember reading somewhere. Nobody's mentioned anything in the chat. I remember reading something somewhere about when you produce, the price goes up. Where was that? Oh, it's probably on here. Yeah, when producing commodities, you move this up. And when you sell them, you move this down. So the market, I think here, the price in the market only changes by these ship cards which come out. I think that's right. Again, let me know in the chat if I've got that wrong, but I think So I'm looking at this. It's going to have to go way up to do that. But yeah, I could go there. I could totally go there. But actually, I think I'm going to go there. That's what? The fishmonger is 1 point for every 2 fish, but I'm not producing any fish at the moment. So requires 2 fish. So I can't go there because going there would only get me 1 fish. So I might have to go, and I can't really go to the market because I would activate it twice. And I can't activate it twice because I don't have the resources. This is tricky. This is really tricky. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Might be a really bad move, but I'm going to go here. That requires 1 stone, 1 stone, 1 stone, which I've got. I've got plenty of stone, so that's fine. I get 1 fish. So I've produced my first fish. Huzzah! Where's my fish card? Yes, the market is only affected by market actions. Right, excellent. So, 1 fish. The wharf allows me to sell that wine for 2 points, 1, 2. And then the winery allows me to convert my 2 grapes, sorry, not wine, oil, 2 grapes into 2 wine. But then the blue player also gets 2 wine, and the orange player gets 3 wine. Yeah, probably a bad move, but anyway, that's what I've done. Right, whatever round it is next, round 3 or 4, blue player first. And we have, can't go there, because that's already taken. Number 2 is that one, so we can't go there. And number 3 is this one. So we get rid of that one, and we put that one on the board. This AI is quite clever, I have to say. So congratulations to Fabio on this. If you designed the solo AI, it's pretty good. Right, so it's gone on the market. Well, it gets 2 fish for start for that. So its fish output goes to 3. Right, market. What does the solo player do on the market? The bot will buy the most valuable good it can afford. Oh, you can buy and sell. No? The bot will buy the most valuable good it can afford. Oh, because you're buying these. These are the goods that you're buying from the ships. Right. If 2 or more goods are worth the most points, pick the one that requires a commodity that they have the most of. And in case of a tie, pick the leftmost. Right. So, buy the most valuable good it can afford. So, here's one worth 5 points. It costs 1 wine. Whose go is it? It's blue's go. Yeah, it's blue's go and it's gone here. Well, it can afford that because it does have a wine. So I think that's fairly simple and fairly clear. I think it spends the wine and it buys, don't know, box of tennis balls, looks like. Not sure. The effect of this is that the price of silver goes up by 1. Is that right? It's a different icon. Here we go. They're all listed in here. Pearls. Oh, that's what it costs to buy. Ah, that's why it's worth 5 points. Right. Well, it does have silver. So it spends the silver and it buys. It increases the value of silver by 2 when it enters the board. Yeah, okay. So it's done that and it's worth 5 points. So 5 points to blue. Yeah, that's what it does. And then they shuffle down 1 and we get a new one coming in. Price of silver goes up by 2. Silver up by 2. So that was that. And then I get to go to the market as well. Right, gotcha. Yes, just saying that, yeah, it also costs a silver. I got that, thank you. So I'm going to go to the market. I only have 2 wine, so I could buy this, but that costs a silver, so I can't. Can't buy that, can't buy that. I can buy this. That's the only thing I can buy, but let's buy it. Some ceramics. It costs me 1 wine, and I get 2 points. 2 points, I'm not last. Well, I am, I'm joint last. They slide down. We get 2 more. Silver goes up again twice. So silver is really valuable now. That's it. That's the blue player done. So now the orange player Right, number 1 is that space there, and that's what it does. So that goes on there, and that goes on there. And then we're going to activate, let's activate this winery first. So grapes, so orange has 3 grapes, so it gets another 3. And it's got another house, so it gets another 3. Then I get to activate it. I have 2, so I get 2. And then blue activates it. Blue's got 2. Blue gets 2. So that's the winery done. What we've got here? Olive. So it produces another olive. And then the architect, it gets to do a tower. Then blue gets to do a tower. Then orange gets to do a tower. So first of all, the orange tower. Can I work out where it goes? Because orange goes all the way along here to here, stops there. Could build a tower there to extend it, but could also build a tower here. And I think that's where it goes. Again, let me know. Value goes down when you spend it. Silver goes down 1. Why does silver go down 1? What have I missed on here? Wine value goes down when you spend it. Oh, I've missed this. Done this a couple of times, I think. Where was that? That was in market. When purchasing ships, the active player must have the required commodities. When the ship is purchased, the corresponding marker on the market value track will be moved down. The commodity on the card does not affect the market price. Let's just read that again. Under the ship card is a commodity with a downwards arrow. Ah, this. Sorry, yes, I forgot. What did I buy? Yeah, you can probably tell me in the chat. You're basically saying silver goes down 1 and wine value goes down 1 because of this. I think this is what I forgot. So silver should have gone down 1 because of this. All right, I don't remember buying that. Wine definitely goes down 1 because I think the blue player bought this from here. Yeah, I can't remember. So I don't think the silver goes down 1. I might have made a slight mistake. Yeah, silver does not. Only the commodity on the board is affected. Yeah, so let's pop silver back up. Yeah, so it's this. So I did forget to move that down when it was bought. That's the cost, and then there's the effect. Right, have I done it correctly? Your bot's silver goes down 1. Yes, that goes down 1, but not this one. Right, thank you. Where are we up to? Market. Yeah, so that's the bit. I forgot the effect. Is a commodity with a downwards arrow. When a ship is purchased, the corresponding marker on the market value track, the commodity on the card, does not affect the market price. That sentence is a bit weird. The commodity on the card does not affect the market price. Anyway, I think we're right now. Where are we up to? I've completely lost track of where we are. I think it's the orange player's turn. And where did orange place? I think orange placed there. And have we done the towers? So orange placed the tower. Yeah, I think we did the orange tower. And I think the orange tower goes here. And the blue tower... Right, so the blue wall starts here. And it can't go here now because there is an orange tower now over the black house. So I think the blue tower is going to go there. And then orange comes along again. And I think orange puts... I'm going to just put these slightly offset so you can see what's underneath for the benefit of you watching with the top-down camera. In fact, I could probably put them like that. Just for the purposes of the overhead camera, if I put them like that, you can probably see them a lot easier. There we go. Let's turn these around. There we go. I think that's okay. Yeah. So I think that is orange done. So it's back to me. Right. Where am I going to go? Well, I've got 3 wine. I'm going to need lots of stuff by the end of the game. I need to be converting this silver ore into actual silver and these olives into actual olive oil. And you do that by the silversmith, which is up there. So I think I'm going to go here. So that cost me 2 wood to build here, which I have. 2 wood to build here, which I have. 1 stone to build here, which I have. So that's fine. I'll do the silversmith first. I'll convert my 2 silver ore into silver. Then the orange player does the same. Orange has got 1 silver ore. And then blue does the same, and blue's got 1 silver ore. Right, that's the silversmith done. And then I increase my olive and my grape production by 1 each. That's the silversmith done. And that's it. Yeah, that was a very easy turn, wasn't it? Right, back to blue. We are almost halfway through. We've had 4 turns. It's going to speed up now, as I think I know what I'm doing, he says. Right, so blue is building over there. It's already there. So that one's done. So it builds here. Here, yeah. Right, I'm going to leave that card there so we know it's blue's turn. And I'm going to put the building on its side to try and remember that it's blue's turn. Right, so what we're going to do? We're going to do the oil press first. See, does it... I mean, this might matter. So, yeah, can you please let me know in the chat the order of resolution? Whose choice is it? Because right now, I want this oil press to happen first because that will influence what happens in the market. But the first thing is it gets a fish. A blue player gets a fish. That's not a fish. Fish is at the top. There you go. Oh, and there's this as well. It can convert fish whenever it wants. Oh, that's pretty good, that. Oh, yeah, so it can do that. And it probably totally will do that. Let's just check the solo rules for fish. Will it do it? Fishmonger. No, that's just getting points for fish, isn't it? So the trading of fish for resources, which is the fish exchange, anybody can do that at any time, but will the solo player do it? I'm not seeing anything. Because I think the solo player, would it convert its 4 fish right now into 2 olives in order to get 2 more oil? Basically killing time until somebody tells me in the chat whether it will or it won't. Because yeah, there is the end of the game. If the bot doesn't have the fish scoring card, it will convert all of its fish. But will it convert all of its fish during the game if I think that is the best thing for it to do? Bots convert fish only at the end of the game for bonus cards. Right, thank you very much. Yeah, it might be worth just saying that the bot never uses the fish exchange rules. Just make it clear, pop it in there. Right, so it doesn't. So yeah, the order in which these buildings are resolved... Again, let me know if you choose which order they are resolved in. But we're going to do the oil press first. So blue first converts its olives into wine, which is 2. I then convert my olives into wine, which is 3. Oh, and then blue converts... yeah, so that's that one. Then blue goes to the market, and what can it buy? Well, can it buy the big one? It can. Can it buy that one? And it can buy that one. So which does it buy out of those 2? the most valuable commodity. In case of a tie, it sells. Sorry, no, market. The bot will buy the most valuable good it can afford. If two or more goods are worth the most points, pick the one that requires a commodity that they have the most of. Wine and oil. It has the most wine. So it spends 2 wine and a silver. And let's get this right this time. The wine goes down by 1. And then it buys that for 5 more points. Shocking. And then a new card comes in and drives the price of oil up by 1. Just check the chat. You choose the order, the bots choose what's most convenient for them. Interesting. Because what's convenient for the bot was actually better for me, possibly. So anyway, that's the blue player done and placed and finished. Next, orange. Orange with its 12 wine. But it's not doing anything with its 12 wine. Right, so position number 1 is there, which we've already done. Position number 2 is there, which we've already done. And position 3 is there. So we're replacing that one with that one. So what does it do? It produces 2 fish, and then it activates the wharf. The bot will sell its most valuable commodity. In case of a tie, the one that it's got the most of. Exception, if a bot has houses around the cathedral and a set of 3, sell the most valuable commodity that doesn't break the set. Very sensible, Mr. Bot. Well, the wine is worth 2. It doesn't have any oil, and it has silver that's worth 3. So it sells the silver and gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Very simple. Then I activate the wharf, and I will sell... I kind of want to keep the silver, because I'm going for my sets as well. I'm going to sell an oil, which gets me 2. 1, 2. That's it for orange. Now it's me. Did you buy more goods? Did I buy more goods? I don't think I did. No, I think yeah, you're right. I think I forgot to activate the wharf. The market for me when I went there. Yeah, the blue player did, and I completely forgot. Thank you. Let's just rewind a little bit. Hopefully it won't change anything. Actually, it might. No, it doesn't change anything. But I would have spent an oil and a wine to buy this. And the cost of the wine goes down by 1, but it's still 2. So I get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I in the lead? Wow, how did that happen? Right, and these shuffle down, and the price of silver goes up by 2. So, actually, what just happened? Did orange just sell a silver? I think orange did just sell a silver. Yeah, correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I think orange just sold a silver here, and it should have been worth 4. So I'm going to give orange an extra 1 point. Let me know if that's... Yeah, all fixed. I did now finish the market. Oh, blue's in there again. Sorry, yes, you're right. I forgot to go around the market. This is why I don't play solo games, because I forget things all the time. So blue would have been able to buy something again, and this would have completely changed what would have happened at the wharf. Sorry, some undos here, but you're watching it, you're seeing the mistakes I'm making. This would cost 2. Right, blue can't buy this. Can blue buy this? No. Can blue buy this? Yes. So blue buys this. So it costs a wine. Wine price goes down by 1. Blue gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. That goes over there. These shuffle down, and the price of wine goes up 1. Right. I think we're done after correcting that and then doing that. Right. My go. Think we're okay now, he says. I don't have many goods, and I need to generate some more oil, which is at the oil press. And then there's fish. Oh, and the fish, that's how you get the points for this. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Totally going to do that. I'm going to put a building here. Or am I? Yes, I am. Because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm learning. Right, so I get a grape. I get a fish. And then I activate the oil press. But before I activate the oil press, I am going to spend 2 fish to get another olive. And now when I activate the oil press, I get 4 oil. Then blue activates the oil press and gets 2 oil. And then I activate the oil press again and I get another 4. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Done, done, done. Right, blues go. Round 5. We have blue is going here, which is still available. So yeah, blue goes there, which is here. Right, so blue first of all activates, gets 1 grape and 1 olive. One of them, one of them. Then it activates the mason. So blue's going to build a wall, then orange, then blue, then orange. Right, so blue is going to build a wall first, I think, the space that gets it the most points, which I believe is here. Oh, no, there's another one. Here. And if in doubt, first clockwise order from the top corner of the silversmith. Yeah, so that will get it 3 points, that will get it 3 points, and clockwise from here is there. So blue builds first here and gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Keep checking the chat. Oh, hello, Board Game Bourbon. Yes, thank you very much for joining me. Right, next we have orange. Orange builds a wall, and again, between 2 orange buildings, it's going to go there, which is 3 points for orange. Then back to blue, which goes there, which is 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And then back to orange, which is there, which is 3 points. I'm not getting in on this wall building stuff. Right. So that's it. That's blue's go done. It activated that area, and that area. That can go down. Orange is next. And we have there, but that's gone. Number 2 is over here, which isn't gone. So it's this one. So this one gets built. So orange gets 2 fish. And then orange activates the oil press. Oh, this is terrible for me, because I've got too much oil. Now, is there anything I can do with that oil quickly? I don't think there is. Oh, rats. I've overdone it on the oil. So first of all, orange will get 3 oil. 1, 2, 3. Blue will get 3 oil. I will get 4 oil, but I can only have 3, and then I get another 4, and I can't have that either. Walls must be on the outside. On the outside. Not sure what you mean, because all of these around here look like wall spaces. Place one wall between 2 house spaces along the city limits. Oh, sorry, that one. Yeah, that one can't go there. Absolutely right. I'm looking at the board from an angle and I can't see it. So instead, it will just go here and get 2 points. Thank you very much. I love these live plays. Makes it so easy because I can make mistakes and they get corrected. Right, what's next? That's it for orange. My go. Right, where are we going to go? I need to get rid of some of this wine. I desperately need to get rid of some of this wine. So I tell you what I could do. I can totally go there. Let's do that. Is that going to get rid of it? Yes, it is. I'm going to go there. And the first building I'm going to activate is the wharf. And I am going to get rid of one of these wines for 2 points. 1, 2. Then we go round. We get orange. Orange gets rid of a silver because silver's worth 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes round to me again, and I get rid of another wine, which is another 2 points. That's the wharf done. Then we do the winery, which is basically me twice. So I get 2 lots of 4. Blue once, so blue converts 3 of its grapes into 3 wine, and orange converts, excellent, messed up orange. Orange has got an overflow of wine. And then the Rector's Palace, which for me is what? Draw 2 and keep 1, put the other one on the bottom of the deck, and then the cheaty orange player just gets 2. We must be on the outside. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I get 2, choose 1. Which one do we want? Well, I certainly don't want the one that needs fish, so I'm going to have that one. That goes on the bottom, and then the orange player just gets 2. Right. Done. Where did I go? I went over there. So that's that done, and that done. We are done. It is now the blue player. 3 rounds left. Now, if a card comes up where all of the numbers have been used, I think it just says pick a different one, but I think you should remove that one from the game because it's never going to get used. So that one has gone, that one has gone, that one hasn't gone, but now has. So this card will not be needed again during the game, so I am going to get rid of it. That was right, wasn't it? Yep, that's right. Okay. So, let's activate the fishmonger first, which is 1 point for every 2 fish. It has 4 fish, so it gets 2 points. Then we're going to activate Rector's Palace. So the blue player gets 2 scoring cards. Oh no, hang on. The Rector's Palace has got the you don't go round icon on. So you probably mentioned in the chat you should not shuffle the bonus, the other player does not get a card. Yeah, the other player doesn't get a card. Just spotted that. Rector's Palace is purely the player that goes there. So blue's just got 2 bonus cards, but nobody else does. The wharf, however, blue does get to trade something, and blue will trade an oil for 2 points. Then round, orange will trade a silver for 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I will trade 2 resources, and I will trade a wine and an oil, which are both worth 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's the blue player done. Home elderflower, very nice. Right, oranges go. I don't think I'm going to win this, because I assume these points are added together at the end. And we've got end of game scoring for the walls, which I have got very, very little. Right. Number 1 is there. That's gone. Number 2 is there. That's gone. Number 3 is there. That's gone. So I'm going to remove this card out of the game. Number 1 is there. That's gone. Number 2 is over here, which is gone. Number 3 is there. So that card can now go out of the game because orange is now building there. Right. What we're going to do first. Cathedral, nothing happens at the cathedral. We'll do the fishmonger first. So it's 2 points for orange and then 2 points for blue. So 2 points for orange, 2 points for blue. And then the market, orange sells a silver for 4. No, hang on. Market is cards. Right. What can orange buy? Can orange buy this? No. Can it buy this? Yes. So it will. So it spends 1 wine, 1 silver to buy this. The price of wine goes down by 1 and orange gets 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shouldn't you be changing the market price when you sell? I'm not sure. Should I? I don't think you do. No. No, Paul, I don't think you do change the market price when you sell at the wharf. I think the market price only changes with the market. Right, so this is orange first. Yeah, let's keep the house up so we know what we're doing. So orange has just gone there and has just bought a good from there. So these shuffle down and we get silver going up by 1. So silver has reached its max. And then purple. I can sell, I can buy a good from here. Can I buy this one? I can, but it will cost me 2 silver. And I don't really want to spend 2 silver because I'm going for my cathedral end of game scoring points. So instead, I'm going to buy, doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to buy this one, which costs 1 wine. The price of wine goes down by 1, and I get 2 points. 1, 2. That goes there, and that goes there, and that goes there. Yeah. Right, the price of oil goes up by 1. And now blue gets to do 2 lots of things at the market. So first, can it afford this? No. Can it afford any of the others? Yes. So which one does it buy? The one that it's got the resources the most of? The bot will buy the commodity that it has the most of. So it has the most wine and oil. Pick the leftmost card. So it's this one. So it spends an oil. The price of oil goes down by 1. And blue gets 2 points. That's that done. And then we shuffle these down. And we get a new card and the price of oil goes up by 1. And then it buys another one. And again, can it buy this? No. Can it buy this? Yes, and it has the most of this. So it buys that. So it spends a wine. Price of wine goes down by 1. And blue gets another 2 points. And the price of wine goes up by 1. Right, that is orange is done. My go. Round 7. Where am I going to go now? I'm looking at where else is going to get built by the other player. And if I can jump on that and get some kind of advantage. Which I might not be able to. This is a bit tricky. And I've really not done well with the whole wall building thing, have I? I mean, yeah, that's down to me really. I could have been putting buildings around the outside. I mean, I could have gone on the architect space, and that will at least allow me to put some towers on, which will increase the amount of stuff I get. Is that going to help me? I don't think it is. I mean, I could go on the market and just... this is tricky. This is really tricky. Yeah, you need 2 fish to go on the fishmongers, and I haven't got 2 fish. I could get 2 fish by going there, and I could just be spending lots of oil to buy lots of stuff. But the other players are going to be buying stuff as well. That's the problem. He's going on there, he's giving them just as many points as it's giving me. I'm playing really, really suboptimally. I could do with getting 2 more olives just for my end of game scoring, and get in another stone for my end of game scoring. So I could just go here and be done with it. And that's nice and simple, and I'm not activating anybody else's ability. Or I could go on here and activate the wharf, and I would be able to sell 3 goods. But then orange would be able to sell as well. And although I have a lot of oil, it's only worth 2. So I'd be selling 3 times and I'd get 6, and orange would get 5. No, I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to go here. That requires, yeah, 3 wood for here, which I've got. So I get a stone, an olive and a grape. So that flips over to the 5. That flips over to the 5. And that flips over... No, that goes around to the 4. Basically, that got me some points at the end of the game without getting the other players anything. Right. So next, round 8. Penultimate round. And the blue card that we're going to use is this one. So, can't go there. There. Yep, that's where it's going to go. And then this card is out. No, this card is not out. This card is still in. So we're going there. So blue is going there. Right, so blue basically gets 2 fish. So blue's now on 6 fish. And then blue activates the winery. And then again. And then orange activates it twice. And then I activate it twice. Oh dear, we've all got so much wine. So blue goes up to 11. Orange goes up to 12. And I go up to like a bazillion. So that's a bit of a waste. But that's blue's go done. Right, orange only has 1 card left. And it can't be there. So we're looking at the 2 spaces down at the bottom. So it's first of all, it's that one. So orange goes here. Gets 2 fish. So that goes up to 6. And it then activates the wharf twice. So both times it will sell a silver because they're worth 5 each. Although it's around the cathedral, it doesn't have any oil, so it's not breaking a set. I think this is right. So it sells 2 silver and gets 10 points. 43. I then sell, what do I want to sell? I might as well sell 2 oil because that's 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then blue sells oil as well and gets 2 points. Right, that's orange done. Now it's me, my penultimate house. Where am I going to go? It's actually, so I'm getting the most points I can from this. I'm almost getting the most points from this. If I go around the cathedral again, then I will get some extra points at the end of the game for my set. So that seems quite good. I'll also get an extra bonus card. The problem is I'll be activating the fishmonger. And that means these 2 players are both going to get 3 points each. So, am I going to get more points from activating the cathedral at the end of the game? I'm going to get 8 points, and those 2 are going to get 3 each. The other option is that, I just use the market and then use the fishmonger. Well, I know that the blue player is going to be activating this, which is the silversmith. And that's going to get me 2 silver. Yeah, I know the silversmith is going to get activated. So actually, I can afford to use the market and buy the super big thing. Yeah, let's do it. So I go here. I get 2 fish. Let's get me fish back. I then buy this card here, which costs cost an oil and a silver. And the price of oil goes down by 1. But I get 5 points. 5 points. That's that done. These slide down. We get a new card. Wine goes up by 1. And then going round from where I placed, orange next. Orange has only got wine. So it can buy this and it can buy this. This one's cheaper, so it buys that. So it spends a wine. The price of wine goes down by 1. Orange gets 2 points. New card comes in. Silver goes up by 1. Silver can't go up by 1. So it doesn't. Back to me. Well, can I buy the... Oh, right. I'll just buy this. Cost me a wine. Price of wine goes down by 1. I get 2 points. Silver goes up by 1. I can't. And then blue buys 2 things. So it can buy the big one. So it will. That costs 2. Price of wine goes down by 1. Blue gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. I was momentarily not last. Price of wine goes up by 1. And then blue again buys this one. So it spends another wine. Price of wine goes down by 1. Blue gets another 2 points. They slide down. That goes there. What was that? Wine goes up by 1. Right. That is it. So we're now on the last round of the game. Saying I don't have fish. But yes, I do have fish. I do have fish now. I have 2 fish. Because I have plans for that for the last round. So, blue as its last placement. So this card must be already gone. There. and there. Yeah, that's gone. Right, so blue is basically placing here. And that is blue's last placement for the game. So the cathedral we can ignore, because that's end of game stuff. The Rector's Palace, it just gets 2 cards. And then the silversmith, blue basically gets 2 silver. I get 2 silver. And orange gets 1 silver. Okay, and that's blue's last placement done. Orange, well, there's only 1 black building on the board, so that's where that goes. So orange gets 2 fish for here, going up to 8, and then activates the fishmonger. Oh dear, twice. So orange gets, oh dear, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and blue gets 1, 2, 3. Ouch. Yeah, the fishmonger, you don't spend anything, you just get points for having fish. That's awesome. Immediately scores 1 point per 2 fish available to the owner of the house at the time. Wow. So my last placement is probably not to go to the fishmonger, because that gets orange 8 points. And it would get me 1. Right, so I'm not going to do that. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to get all these points with this 1 placement? I am probably not. Let's just check the cathedral. I think the cathedral is just one set. It's 1 set per house, is it? Cathedral. Yeah, score a set of 1 silver, 1 wine and 1 oil at the end of the game. Yeah, so I've already got 1 house next to the cathedral. If I put another house next to the cathedral, I'll be able to trade in a second set, which is worth like 8 points. So that's probably good. And it doesn't really benefit anybody else unless I put it there, which I don't want to do. If I put it there, they'll all get to build walls again, which probably gets them more points, but does it get them more than 9? Possibly not. I don't think I really have any other choice. I could go for the Rector's Palace, but that's probably... Oh, actually, I'm going to get to draw 2 cards and choose one, and I'm probably going to get some points from it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the Rector's Palace. I'll do that first. So I draw 2 cards. Yeah. Each wall, 1 point. But how do you know whose wall is whose? Let's just have a look at what that card does. End of game scoring. 1 point for each wall adjacent to one of your houses or towers. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So that would be worth 3 points, which is rubbish. So I'm not having that one. I'm having this one, which is worth to me 6 points. And I can actually make it worth 7. Right. So I've done Rector's Palace. We'll do the silversmith. I get to do it twice. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4. The blue player gets to do it twice. So blue gets 2 silver. And orange gets to do it once and gets 1 silver. And then we do the architect. So I get to architect once, then orange twice, then blue. So me, orange twice, then blue. So what I'm looking at doing here is extending the length of my existing wall, which really isn't very long. So I think if I go there, I think that basically extends this bit. Yeah, not very much. Right, orange. Where does orange go? Orange goes here, because that extends all of this so it becomes orange. Yeah, and then orange goes again. No, blue goes next. Where's blue going to go? Blue stopped here, so it goes along here. Is this the longest bit? Or is that the longest bit? No, this is the longest bit, so I think blue goes there. And then back to orange again. Where can orange go? The wall starts here, and this is all orange, up to here. So this is not going to help orange at all. I don't think. So we'll put it there. I think that's right. And we are done. So, end of game scoring. Let's see what happens. Score the longest wall and cathedral as normal and then resolve all the bonus cards. If the bot doesn't have fish bonus cards, it can convert. Right, let's do the wall first. Let's see if I've got this right. 1 point for each wall piece, tower and house of your colour in the longest stretch. Wow, right, so let's do mine first. I think my longest stretch. So does it start here or does it start here? Just looking at the pictures. It starts here. And it goes along here and it stops here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I score 6 points. Let's do blue next. Blue's longest wall starts here and ends here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue gets 6 as well. Was that? Yeah, that's not longer. Yeah, and orange has got all of this. So it starts here. No, starts here. Starts here and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 points for orange onto 69. I think that is correct. So that's the wall scoring. Cathedral scoring. I'm in there once. And I have 1 full set. So cathedral, I think, is the points. Where did it say that? Cathedral, end of game. End of game cathedral. For each house on the cathedral, score end of game market values. Yeah, so I get 5, 6, 7, 8 from my 1 set. So I get 8 points. Blue has a set and he's on the cathedral twice, so it actually has 2 sets. So blue gets 16 points, 63. Orange is in there, but orange doesn't have a set. Huzzah! Bonus cards. Right, I get 2 points for each. Before I do this, I am going to convert my 2 fish into a wood. There we go. Right, 2 points for each olive. I've got 5 olives, so that's 10. 10 onto 58. 3 points for each stone, max of 12. So I get 12 onto 70. I've suddenly switched over to 170. It's cheating, isn't it? And then 2 points for each wood, and I've got 4 wood, so 78. Oh, if we could only call it there, but we can't. So the orange player, bonus cards. Does it have the fish scoring card? It does not. So therefore, it will convert its fish into something else that's needed to get it extra points, which there isn't any. So it gets 1 point for every ship that's valued 2. Has 1 of those, so 1. 2 points for each tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 points for the tower. And 4 points for each woman's clothes. Nope, didn't get any of them. So the random bonus scoring cards for orange weren't very good for it. Right, for blue, what have we got here? Okay, so it's getting 4 points for each silver ore, maximum of 12, and it only has 1 silver ore. So it is going to spend 4 fish to get an extra silver ore at the end of the game. That gets 8 points for that. 8 points for that. Okay, 3 points for each. Let's have a look at the boats. So it's getting, oh, look at all these boats. Wow. Right, so 3 points for each lot of silk that it sold. None. 2 points for each spices. It sold 1 lot of spices. 2 points. What's this? Each silver, oil and wine set. Oh, wow. I guess that's that. It's got 4 sets. 8 points. And finally, each not equals 2 ship. Is that for each good? It's got to be. Each different type of good the player has. Wow, it's got loads. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. It had 6 different types of goods. 12 points. 93. And that is it. That is the final score. It was close, except for that last bit. Now, I'm assuming we don't add them both together. End of the game. Track each of the bots' points independently. The player wins if they score more points than both of the bots. So I didn't. I came last. The blue player got 93. Orange got 80. Purple got 78, which is me. It was my first game, is my excuse. I was learning how to play from the rulebook. So I was making suboptimal decisions. That's my excuse anyway. Yeah, I would definitely play better if I played it again. And that was it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my first game, so of course I can't really comment on, you know, the game balance or anything else. A couple of slight issues with the rulebook, a couple of typos, a couple of which are just spelling mistakes, which are minor. The one bit where it says tower and it should say house. Overall, it was okay. I've got a few suggestions to make it better if you do another reprint of it. The only component issue I found is, as I say, these square cards here that represent your commodities, they're too big. They don't go in. I am going to actually get a pair of scissors and I am going to trim these ever so slightly so that they slide in. I assume that was I assume that was by design. You wanted them to fit in, and it was just a slight production issue, I guess. But yeah, if they fit in nicely, it would look a lot It would look a lot less messy. And that's it. So yeah, if you are still watching this in the chat, if we are still going out live, I think we're still going out live, although the chat seems to have gone quiet. Yeah, please let me know if you enjoyed it, and if I did the end game scoring correctly. I'm going to just hang around until Fabio lets me know if I've done the end game scoring correctly and if I got it right. And thank you very much for watching, obviously. And as I mentioned at the start, this is not a commissioned video. This is all purely funded through my Patreon campaign. So if you enjoy the work that I do and you enjoy the content that I create, and I want to be doing more of these, then please consider supporting me over at patreon.com/gaming rules. And yeah, nothing in the chat. So either everybody's fallen asleep or nobody has anything to say. So yeah, I'll just hang around for a bit longer. If you've got any questions about the game, please let me know in the comments below. Feel free to add any comments onto the YouTube channel. I think with the corrections that we made along the way, I think we got all the rules correct. I hope. Definitely a game that I want to play multiplayer. The solo game seemed to work. The AI was quite clever in the way that the buildings were actually fixed at the start of the game, the black ones, so you could actually plan. You knew which spaces were going to get activated multiple occasions during the game, and you could have factored that. I'm saying I should have factored that into my strategy by seeing which spaces were going to be activated. You know, I knew the fishmonger was going to be activated 3 times. So if I'd have built more down here and got more fish, I knew I was going to get more points from that. But, you know, it's first game. I was definitely learning how it plays. This whole resource is up here. Obviously, that's the setup for a solo game. So the whole rules about needing the stone and the wood for building never really applied because I already started with enough. But I assume that's different, multiplayer. Right, Fabio has said, all correct. Excellent, I did the end of game scoring correct. Nilsson's here, looks interesting, add to your list of potential games. Yeah, like all of the other games, there's too many games, not enough time. Now the designer has also done Kalimala, which I haven't played, but I have heard good things about. So yeah, if Fabio, you've only done Kalimala and this, then yeah, Kalimala has a fairly good reputation, I think. One of my friends really didn't like this. I don't know why. I will speak to him tonight and I will find out why he didn't like it. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Maybe the solo experience is different. Well, I mean, obviously the solo experience is different from a multiplayer experience. And it does say that it takes up to 5. So yeah, maybe the experience with higher player counts isn't as good as with lower player counts. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, I'm rabbiting on a bit. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry about the audio issues at the start. That's clearly something that I need to sort out because my new expensive microphone setup doesn't seem to work properly. But I will do some experiments on that later on. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for everybody taking part in the live chat. And I've got this set up so that my end credits scene should play next. If it works, Great. Thank you very much. See you soon.